Hey there folks, welcome to this video, and as you see Formula E in the background, let's talk about the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. F1 has unveiled its plans for the newest addition to the calendar. No matter what we think about it, the plan is still that it's going to go ahead. And it's on the streets of Jeddah. And, well, let's just talk about these plans for a minute. And firstly, it's going to be the second longest track on the calendar, shorter only than Spa, and supposedly the second fastest, slower only than Monza. With estimated lap times around the 250km/h mark, and I don't really know what to think about that. It seems like they're also like with the plans that we've seen for Qiddiya, just looking at going for a large amount of corners. And as much as they want to run it on the coastline, a bit like what we see in the likes of Baku or Zandvoort or Sochi, I don't really know how well this is going to pull off. Because they are running right next to the coastline, and they're planning on running 3 DRS zones, 2 of them through sweeping corners, right on the coastline. And there's a story in F1 about a gust of wind. And that's usually a bit of a joke, referring to Nico Rosberg in 2015 at Kota. But genuinely, a gust of wind coming in during one of those sweeping DRS zones, it could have dire consequences. I mean, we've seen how much wind can have an effect at sea level in races like Valencia. So I don't understand why, as much as it's cool to have it so close to the coast, you also want to have 3 DRS zones, unless you're just going, I really want to have a fast track. That said, apart from, if we take the circuit, let's say, outside of the location it's in, and we talk about it purely as a circuit, it's interesting to see the work that Tilke's done with it. Now, Herman Tilke gets a lot of criticism for the tracks he's made, but typically, with tracks such as Sochi, he's working within the limits confined. Those kinds of designs that he's done are the best, really, in a lot of cases. I'd include Sochi in this, that matched the brief that he was given. And that's important when you're talking about street circuits or semi-permanent ones. So the likes of Sochi, for example, was semi-permanent. It's technically a street circuit, technically a race circuit, but yeah, it's certainly a mismatch of the two. But here, I think it seems like a good selection of roads, and some bits which are going to look a bit more permanent as well. In terms of the scenery and backdrop, it will look impressive, hopefully. Especially because of the fact that it's a night race. But I just think about when it comes to the idea of running it at a coastline, and right onto a coastline. I mean, we talk about Zandvoort being a coastal race, at least it's got some kind of shielding from the sea. I just feel like it could go wrong. I could see it being very windy and stormy, there just being, you know, waves coming crashing up over it onto the track because it's not too far from the shoreline. Or those kinds of bits and pieces just causing havoc. I don't feel like this... I mean, it's gotta have to be safe because that's how it's going to get the F1 certification. But I feel like this is pushing that safety and those kinds of safety barriers to their very limit. And I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. No matter what people are talking about to do with its shape, looking like some kind of crooked knife or spoon or something that, well, people can picture, but we can't really say out loud, otherwise that would be the big no-no on YouTube. But, yeah, my thoughts? Well, we'll have to wait to see, won't we? No matter my thoughts about a race in Saudi Arabia, I can't do anything to stop it happening. And no matter what kind of action I believe people take, the race is still going to happen. So let's just see what happens, shall we? Those are my thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. See you around.